What up guys, this is Wood, and let's check out this Titan event. So what have we just come out of? We've come out of a Hero's Path for the Anniversary event, which required Ancient Shards and or Void Shards to complete. So most people are pretty low on these. Me personally, I am very low. We also came out of the Fusion. So that's the character that we're getting the Pelops here, the Soul for. Now there's two questions here. Do you want to do anything in this Titan event if you don't have Pelops? And do you want to do something in this Titan event if you do? I think it's worth picking up a soul for the character. It's quite good. But do we need the 5-star soul? Now, if you just came here to know what you want to pull, how you want to farm, I would say farming for the 5-star soul is not worth it. To understand why that is, we need to look at the kit of the character. Now, Pelops is very stat hungry, okay? He needs a lot of different things to make each part of his kit work optimally, okay? So first of all, he places debuffs on his passive, his A2, and his A1. So he needs accuracy. He also does damage with this ignore defense and this damage escalation based on debuffs and the HP burn. And he also places buffs, one of which is a shield. So he wants high HP and he wants speed. Okay, so he also wants the speed to place these debuffs on a consistent basis, right? To keep them. This one's on his passives. This one's okay, but the stun and mainly the decreased attack, like stuff like Clan Boss, he wants to be fairly fast. Okay, but mainly for the buffs. You want to keep these buffs on a high uptime. To conclude, he wants HP, speed, crit rate, crit damage, and accuracy. I mean, that's pretty much all the stats in the game. If you're running this guy in Hydra, there's a good chance he's going to have more buffs than everyone else. He might even want to build in resistance. Okay? So, what does that mean for this character? He needs so many different stats. What that means is that you're probably going to specialize him into one role or another. So what that means is, for most people, he's probably best built as a debuffer and buffer as a support champion. But if you want to build him for damage, you're probably going to build him for just damage with a bit of accuracy, right? So we're not trying to build him for every stat in the game. Now, in my opinion, he's best built as a support champion, so that's what we're going to assume we're building him based off this soul, okay? So what does the 5-star soul do for him? It gives him accuracy, crit damage. That's what the 5-star soul and the difference from the 3-star soul is. So yeah, you might be thinking, well, the accuracy is useful for building him as a support champion. Now, I'd argue no, okay? Well, it is useful, of course, and the blessing is helpful too. You probably build him with Nature's Wrath or something similar, Cruelty perhaps. But I don't think he needs the 5-star soul. If you're using him in the PvE content that he's good in, he doesn't need crazy amounts of accuracy, right? In Faction Wars hard, yeah. On Faction Wars normal, yeah, accuracy is useful, but you can just build that with gear, right? Usually the reason you want the accuracy bonus from the 5-star is because you're bringing him into PvP, or you're using him in clan boss content where you want to min-max the amount of damage and other stats that you can bring to the table. So it lowers the accuracy requirements for your gear, right? So you're thinking, oh, well, I might use him in clan boss content. Now, I don't think so. I think he's decent in Chimera for the debuffs he brings. Decreased attack's useful, the burn is useful, these buffs are useful, and the damage is helpful, right? But again, I don't think he's optimal for Chimera runs. And if you're using him for Chimera, you're probably low enough. You're sort of mid-game, early game enough that the 5-star soul is not going to be that useful to you anyway. Okay? Now, if you're late game, you're thinking, oh, well, he has Magma Shield. Magma Shield is great for Titus spell teams. That's true, but we already have a way to get Magma Shield in the game, and that is the Volcardiac Heart. Now, not everyone has a Volcardiac Heart, you're thinking. Well, I think if you're endgame enough, there's a good chance that you're at least going to get a Volcardiac Heart eventually, like pretty soon. They're not difficult to farm. It's the standard group. You'll get one eventually, or you just don't have a Titus Wixwell team to begin with, right? Which in that case, the type of people who want this champion for that role aren't really going to need it. So, in conclusion, endgame players aren't going to be using Pelops for Titus Wixwell anyway, because there are better options. And early game players don't need the extra stats, because you're building him primarily as a support champion, so he doesn't need that much crit damage. It's helpful, but it's not necessary. And you can fill out the accuracy for the content you need, because I don't think he's that useful in PvP. Okay? So, if we don't want the 5-star soul, what do we want to get? Well, we can look at the other rewards in this calendar. So we've got the Howling Guardians, it's a decent relic, it's useful. You can farm this up for free basically by just doing the regular events. Again, we've got the 3-star and this spear. Is this spear worth getting? The Thunderbolt spear. It's a decent relic. It gives you main stat crit damage, if I can find it, which is just useful, and it's a decent modifier with the extra effect for PvP. Run to shields quite often there. It's worth getting this, and you can farm up to it without having to spend a single shard. Now, what about the final milestone? I think if you are end game, mid to end game-ish, you probably want this Void Shard, you probably want this Haste Glyph, you probably want this Legendary Skill Tome, and you probably want this Mythical Skill Tome. Now, I believe to get this Mythical Skill Tome, you're going to have to complete at least some of one of the summon events. So this is optional, but I think everyone should at least farm up to this Void Shard. Okay, because you can pretty much do all of these quite easily, just play the game normally, and you'll get enough Titan points to reach this. So I think most people should probably aim here. If you're looking to do budget, just aim here for the Thunderbolt Spear. Pick up this Immortal Soulstone too, they're pretty useful. You don't really want to miss out on these when you have an opportunity to get them. And you can get this one pretty much for free just by doing events. Right? So, yeah, why do we want the 3-star still? I think Pelops still benefits from the 3-star as the support champion. Because we're not looking to do loads of damage, we don't need the 4-star. But the 3-star is useful because it increases the size of his shield. It also makes him a bit more tankier with the defense because he's got this taunt, he kind of wants to take a few hits. It's pretty useful. And also in Faction Wars, there is for the bosses, there's like you take less damage and do more damage per awakening level, so it's worth having a soul on him to begin with. So I think fully skipping this event is just not really worth it. You should go for at least the 3-star. I think most people can reach the spear. And if you're sort of mid to end game, you probably want to get up to this Void Shard, this Legendary Skill Tome. But yeah, that's what I'd say about this event. What am I going to do? I think if there is a 2x on Primals this weekend for the Champion Chase, I might go all the way. I'll have to see how expensive the second summon event I need to do is. I'll probably have to do it with Sacreds. So likely be the Summon Rush the following weekend. But yeah, I think I might end up going for this if there is a 2x Primals. Why might there be a 2x Primals? Well, it's still the anniversary event. They tend to do 2x Primals on the anniversary, and we haven't had one yet. So I think there's a good chance there could be one this weekend. If there's not, I'm definitely skipping this event. I'm probably just going to farm up to the Mythical Skill Tome. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Comments below if you have any questions about this channel. This is my first video, so let me know what I can do better and those sorts of things. And if you have any questions about the rest of the game, I'll read everything, you know. I'll be down there, I'll be checking it out, so don't be afraid to comment. And yeah, see you next one.